everybody, this is Coach Geckos. Today I'll be showing you how to set up a juvenile gargoyle gecko cage. If you have a New Caledonian species of gecko, it's always good to keep them in a smaller enclosure until they're up to size to move into a larger enclosure, like a exoterra tank or a 20-gallon tall, so you don't stress them out. So always make sure to keep them in a smaller tank, like a critter keeper, like I have right here, or a 10-gallon, until they are large enough to move into a larger tank. So right here I have a medium-sized critter keeper, good size. I can keep my gargoyle gecko in here for a good while until she's big enough to move. So for substrate, I'll be using paper towel. Paper towel is a good substrate for holding humidity, and it keeps your gecko from getting impaction from like eating dirt or anything like that. So let's get this kind of pushed down. I make sure to get a few layers of it because you're going to be spraying it down a lot, so you want to make sure it stays moist, but not so moist that it's going to get gross. Okay, so all the supplies I'll be using are right here. Not my foot. So a plant, some little cut-offs from a plant, a hide, which this can be replaced with a cork hollow. That's actually what I've been using, but it got a little wet, so I'm just going to let it dry out until I clean her cage the next time, and then I'll put it back in there. Some moss in a cup, and then your food dish. So to start off, I'm going to start putting in all the accessories and the hides and such. Okay. So first I'm going to put in this cup. I got this idea from another person who does YouTube videos on reptiles. To keep the humidity up, since paper towel isn't the best humidity substrate, he used a cup of sphagnum moss and made it very, very moist, so it kept up the humidity. So I thought that would be a good idea. I've used this with my crested gecko, so I think I'm just going to try this out with her. Make sure you don't put it on the ground, just put it in a cup, wet it down a lot, so it stays away from your gecko's mouth. So now I'm going to add this hide, which is a paper towel tube with a hole cut in the front, which you can either put facing up or on the ground, like I'm going to be doing. And then you want to add, I'm going to put these little cuttings first on the ground. Makes it look nicer. And it also helps your gecko have a few more hiding places. Okay, so now I'm going to add the dish. The reason this Pangea diet looks purple is because I mixed it with a little bit of calcium dust just to give it some extra nutrients. I do that about every 2 weeks or every week. Just to give them a boost of calcium. And then, oops, sorry, I dropped it. This is extremely important for terrestrial animals. I mean, not terrestrial, excuse me, arboreal, which means they live in the trees. It's always good to have a vine or fake plant for them to climb in. So always have one of these. Okay, suction cup it to the back. Make sure you get a lot of space kind of covered, and make sure there's a lot of places for your gecko to hide, because it's very important that you get your gecko hiding places. So that's how just a basic setup would look like. A plant, some humidity, which isn't necessary. This is just a good idea you can try. A hide, and the dish, and some paper towel substrate. So that's a basic setup for a gargoyle gecko. Let me spray it down real quick. Oops. Let me adjust the nozzle. So I don't want to get the substrate too wet because it'll suck up all the water and get kind of nasty. So I'm going to make sure I don't get the substrate too much. And for your final addition to your setup, you always need to have a gecko to set up a gecko cage. Let's get her out of this critter keeper. Come on, sweetie. Sorry. I got you. Okay, there we go. There she is. So that's Comet, my gargoyle gecko. I've probably had her for 3 weeks. So she's doing really great. And this is the size cage you're going to want to have for a gecko about this big. So I hope you guys enjoy this video and taught you some things. This is Coach Geckos. I will see you later. Bye.